because it forces you to trade the right way. So I've made money before. I've done well in trading before, but sometimes I get into trouble with risk management. Just when I started to string trading and just losing your discipline. And so pool's great is because it forces you to trade properly, and that's the main thing. If you can't control your risk, you will not survive over the long term.
Alrighty, welcome everybody to another Funded Trader of Trade the Pool. And today Denis is with me. How are you doing, buddy?
Really good, really good.
Great, good to have you here. This is not your first attempt passing the evaluation, right? You had like
Yeah.
3 or 4. So
Yeah, I had a few attempts. I was doing well in a couple of them, but I think I got into some trouble when you guys switched on pre-market, and there
Right.
were just some really wild moves, and I got stuck and I got hit out, and that actually helped me because I made a rule for that after I got burned a couple of times. I made a new rule saying I would not fade stocks. I would not go against the trend in pre-market. So I would just either go with the trend, make sure my risk was defined, and then that helped me a lot in the one that I eventually passed.
That's a great intro for this video, because a lot of the guys that watching this video right now are wondering how can someone pass the evaluation, what you have as a trader comparing to others. So that would be a great way to start this video, just understanding when you understand something is not working, just build rules around it, so that will prevent you to blow your account the next time, right?
Yeah, that's the main thing, and that's why trade the pool is great because it forces you to trade the right way. So I've made money before. I've done well in trading before, but sometimes I get into trouble with risk management. Just when I started to string trading and just losing your discipline. And so pool's great is because it forces you to trade properly, and that's the main thing. If you can't control your risk, you will not survive over the long term. So that's why it's great.
That's amazing. How long you been doing that, trading?
I've been trading almost 10 years now. Almost 10 years. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's a lot of time, just to get more experience in the game of trading and understand really what works and what not. And what do you usually trade?
So I trade stocks. So I like to trade. My strategy is mostly based on news. So I like to trade in place stocks with news that have a catalyst. So I like stock. I like news that can change what investors think about a company. So I like small caps because they move a lot more. But then I like even there's game changing news in big caps as well. They have less percentage move but bigger dollar price move, so you can trade them. So yeah, so I like news. I also trade the market when it's in play. So the market's not always in play. Usually just grinds. But recently, the last couple of weeks, there's a lot of increased volatility. The VIX went up, so that's when I switched to trading VIX and trading more marketplace because everything just moves with the market. And
Yeah, nice. So we'll take a look at your account in a second. You traded $160,000 buying power. That's the extra BP we call it. So how was it? How was it comparing to trading like the mini BP where you're trading $20,000?
Yeah, so it's great. So like I think when you're starting out, when you're new, this is what I should know. It doesn't matter how much you trade. The smaller the better. So the first task is to understand how the market works, and that takes time and to develop your strategy. So I tried the small one first, but because I've traded a lot more money before, I needed to make it worth it for me to do the trial. So trading small for what I'm used to, it's not as interesting. So that's why I took the extra BP, because I'm used to trading a bit more size, and then it was worth it for me to sit there 8 hours a day, sit in front of the screen and actually trade. So that's why I chose the bigger buying power.
Yeah, that's a super important lesson. Start small, take the mini BP, just give it a shot, understand what works for you, and then when you're ready, go for the big leagues, the extra or the ultimate, just bigger numbers, so you can obviously make more.
100%. When you're starting out, the smaller the better. There's no point to go big until you understand what you're doing.
Yeah. So let me share the screen and show what you did. Right. First of all, congrats. I didn't say that before, so congrats.
Thank you. Thanks, and congrats to you. I was waiting a very long time for a stock prop shop. Futures has been around for years, but this is the first stock one I was waiting a long time.
Yeah, we worked a lot, just to build this operation and continue every day to improve it. We love what we do. So thanks for that. Okay, so you reached the target, the 7,800. 30 trades for those of you who are not familiar with the program. So you need to do 30 trades within 45 days, and that's a nice chart that you built here. You did have pullbacks or a drawdown. Can you tell me a little bit about those two
Yeah,
times?
so there was a nice setup I was looking for. I think Mullen, MULN. They had a reverse split, and it was very undervalued. But in my opinion, so I was looking for a bounce there, and it just kept going down. It just kept going straight down, way more than I expected. But I knew the more it went down, the higher probability that it would have a bounce. So I was willing to take a bit of risk there. So I got chopped up a few times, but then eventually I got the move I was looking for. Unfortunately, I didn't make huge profit on the trade because I already gave back some, but it was enough to bring it back and then to take it from there. So I don't know if you can see it there, but yeah.
Um, yeah, MULN, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, got it. So I do see that you mix in between. You have those small caps, as you mentioned, and then you have some ARM, like a $50 stock, or Tesla and Meta that you traded, Target as well. So this is basically you switching from market companies to, instead of trading basically those penny stocks.
Yeah, exactly. So I trade what's in play. So I trade what's in play and it's got a higher probability of a move and the setups that I understand. So actually the last few weeks everything's been in place. So when I think biotech's got very hot, very strong, so I made a few good trades in small cap biotechs. But then when the market sold off, that's when the bigger stocks come in play. And I thought ARM was very interesting because I think it could be really undervalued. It's a cheap semiconductor stock and AI is very hot and they're a big player. So I think this stock can go over about 100. And I know there were a lot of, like, for example, there were a lot of buyers at 55, 56. So I knew there were a lot of investors that liked the stock at 56, and the IPO was also very oversubscribed. So I knew there was a lot of demand for the stock. And the IPO price was $51. And so the market was oversold. ARM was holding 50, and that's why I thought it was a great trade around 50. So that's why I can switch, because I just have a few different strategies which I can use for small caps and large caps. So when the market becomes in play, everything usually moves with the market. So that's when I usually trade that more often.
Yeah, that's also a great rule for the guys that just listen in. Sometimes it's good that you have a good strategy that you work with on a regular basis, but you got to understand that the market have has a period of times where it will be more bullish or more bearish, more sideways. Once you have those other strategies to back you up, you basically give yourself the advantage to trade any type of market. So that's super important. Let's drill down just a tiny bit about, let's say, like the best strategy you usually work with. Do you trade like fading stocks, either penny or big tech?
Yeah, so I fade less because I get into trouble fading sometimes. So I prefer to trade on the long side and trading changing news, changing fundamentals. So when something unusual happens, with news comes out and there's a lot of volatility in the stock, when a stock should be re-rated. So I like it when a sector gets hot, like AI this year was really hot. So a lot of AI stocks got revalued early in the year. But I do like to fade stocks extreme moves. I think there was an extreme move. I can't remember the stock now, but there was a really extreme move, and I shorted it. So when something goes way too far, I try to wait, because I've gotten in trouble a few times, and I will have a go. But I'm really trying to um, do that less because it doesn't suit me so much. So I know a lot of people like to short penny stocks. It's something I'm trying to work on. So I try to do it with less size and maybe wait for a lower high somewhere where I know I'm wrong. Because if you get short too early, you don't know when you're wrong. And the most important thing about trading is knowing when you're wrong, so your risk is defined. And if you start shorting too early, you don't know when you're wrong. So that's what I like to do. So I think I shorted something against a round number. I shorted at 200. I knew I would be out at 210, and it had a crazy fall. So yeah.
And what about when you're talking about the news, finding the right news, right? Do you have like a list of different types of news? Some of them will be more helpful for the trade and some a little bit less. For example, Goldman Sachs upgrade, right? So you know that a lot of people are watching this upgrade and support or believe Goldman Sachs, so they will go and hit the bid, right? Or
Yeah,
the app.
yes. So I think it depends. I think that's when technicals come into play. So I think when Goldman upgrades or Morgan's, I think what's the big one? I think Bank of America upgrades. If it's a hot stock, if the technicals look good, I like upgrades. I think usually you can go with it because it's just they have a lot of investors and a lot of people can get in if the market's good. But also they can also sell into it sometimes. So it's not always the case. I prefer news where it's game changing for a company. So like for example, like a phase trial success, or I don't know, they did a deal with like a small company does a deal with a bigger company. So now this company was just normal, but now this news gives them extra revenue. And I think when I think the company should be revalued, that's what I really like, when it's just news that actually changes something for the company.
Yeah, that's great. So maybe to sum it all up, let's talk a little bit about Trade the Pool, your experience in general, because you did some evaluations. Now that you passed and become funded, tell us for the guys that listening, the goods and the bads.
So look, I think what's good about it is it's got risk management, which I need, which helps me because sometimes you come in tired, you have a bad day, the emotions take over, and you can have really bad. So that's when you need risk management. And I've never had a risk management before, so that's something I was looking for, and I think that's something really great. The platform's good; it has everything you need. I think there's more stuff you guys can add. I think you're looking to add better level 1, so you can see better what's going on the level 1, level 2, or whatever. I think it's called level 2 on the depth. So that could be better. Otherwise, the platform has everything you need. That's just something that can be improved. What else? No, it's great. I mean, the rules are there. It's exactly what you need to trade the right way, and yeah, so I liked it.
Amazing. Okay, thanks so much, Denis. Hopefully the first check will arrive soon. And guys at home that listen in, come join us at tradeapool.com.
Beautiful. Thanks, Michael. Appreciate it. Thank you.